Hi there, I'm David Ingleby. This is Dingo Servo Mounts. I'd like to introduce you to our latest range of mounts. This is the new mini servo mount range, and it's designed specifically for the Power HD1370A servo, which is a little 3.7 gram servo and quite a lot smaller than the standard SG90s or HK15178s. Now we have here a mini point, mini signal, mini duo, which is a double signal, and a mini trip, which is a triple signal. And we're going to look at those all now in more detail. Right, first of all we have the mini point, which is a little point motor based on the ultra micro range, and operates in an ordinary left to right mode. Again, fully linear motion. Unfortunately, due to the size, we can't fit any switches or anything like that, so it's really just a little point motor. I reckon this would work quite well on something like N scale or smaller points, and would take up very, very little space. If you compare it with a standard Micro 10, you can see it is way, way smaller. Next we have the mini signal mount, which again works very much like our standard signal mount, up and down. I have to say that all these mini signal mounts will accept a magnetic clip, something like we designed for the Omni mount or the standard signal. This one is actually a standard signal mount, but the mini duo and mini trip have a slightly narrower unit because the servos are a bit closer together. Also, you'll find that all of our mounts, these mounts come with a 3D printed dog underneath here, which replaces the actuator arm or the horn which comes with the servos, because the horns that come with the servo are really very flimsy and not very strong. So I have 3D printed a horn that fits on nicely tight onto the servo boss, and has a hole in there for the drive screw, which is in there, and like I said, works exactly the same way as a standard signal. And if you want to compare that with the standard signal mount, you can see that it is an awful lot smaller than the standard signal mount. The next one we have is the mini duo, which is two signals side by side. They are set up here with the three screws for your pin going in there, and you can drop there's a slot in the cover plate there so that pin will slide through between there. These can also be fitted with a magnetic clip, like I've got on this mini trip, and that will then hold your clips magnet wise. Just to give you an indication of the size difference, that is the size of our standard dual signal mount, so it's an awful lot smaller, and also much neater and tidier if you haven't got a lot of space under the baseboard, especially on small scales like N or AA. And so yeah, there's your two servos. This unit comes completely pre-folded, so that will be in a Z form, this in the U form. All you have to do then is to drop the sliders in, fit the two bits together, and tighten up those two screws in the back there. Once you've done that, you center up your servos with the dogs on, and then just drop them through from the back. Make sure that the screw from the drive dog or the horn locates into that slot there, and then just screw them up with the little screws at the back. These are quite small screws, they're M1.6s at the back there, because the servos are quite small. And that would give you a lovely dual servo or twin. We call this the duo to distinguish it from the dual, which is the normal standard servo mount. And finally we have the mini trip, which is very similar to the duo, except that this has three different units, two driving at the top, one at the bottom, and have no problems with that. Again, the 3 units can either take a pin, which as you can see there's a slot in there for the pin to go through. Once you put the magnetic clips on, the pin will actually come over the top of that, so it's not going to be a problem. And these are the slightly narrower magnetic clips, just 9mm wide, so they fit into the space there, because the servos are approximately 9mm apart. That's the only way we can get them to fit there. Again, it comes pre-folded. That is a Z, this is a U shape. All you have to do is to slot the sliders in, screw those 2 little screws in to hold the 2 bits together, and then drop the servos in from the back. And once again, as you can see, we have these 3D printed dogs on the servos, which give you a much more clean operation. And that is it. Thank you for watching this latest addition to the Dingo Servo Mount range. I'm David Ingleby.